Social studies. So you're getting out your chapter 6, lesson 3 note-taking sheet you did on Friday. Or if you put it in your notebook, you can get that out. We're going to go over that first. You have a test over chapter 6 on Wednesday. We'll review 3 today. We'll review the whole chapter tomorrow and then a test on Wednesday. So getting out your notes from Friday.
Was it chapter 6, lesson 3?
All right, and then I'll put up here, I'm not going to rewrite the questions, but I will put the notes up here so you can see those. Make sure you're getting those filled in.
We're making a new one of these?
No, you're just adding to it if you need to, like we did with the lesson 2 ones. You're going to add in anything that I put up here that you didn't write down, okay? All right. You should have submitted then the lesson 3 note-taking sheet on Friday. Okay. John, question?
No, I was waiting for the questions.
All right. Oh, okay. We're getting there. I'm waiting for everybody to get ready. I need to see some green papers out, some notebooks out. Got on your iPads? Okay. All right. Perfect. So, question 1 for pages 240 to 241 asked, how did the geography, the rich farmlands, affect farms? So what geography helped those farmlands prosper? What was it, John? So they grew wheat, corn, and rye. And all of these ingredients are needed to make something. Can you think of anything that these ingredients all make?
Food?
Sean?
Bread.
Bread. So the middle colonies were known as the breadbasket colonies. Okay, I don't know, that's in lesson 1, but we're going to add it here. Okay, so they were known as the breadbasket colonies. So this is something you definitely want to write down. Okay, and it worked out that John mentioned those 3. So they can grow those. Those were their staple crops, right? Ones that they could grow. So they were known as the breadbasket colonies. How come they were able to grow these crops so well? So geography, they're talking about landforms, land, water. What did they have that the New England colonies did not? Adam?
Rich soil.
Yeah, that rich, fertile soil. Okay, so this here goes with that. Rich, fertile soil. What did the farmers use to grind down these different crops to make the bread or flour or whatever else they were making? They talked about it in that lesson 3. Sean?
They used a wine wheel and a river.
What was it called?
A mill?
It was called a grist mill. So farmers used the grist mills, okay, to grind these down and to sell them, okay, as ingredients people could use. So those grist mills were popular in the middle colonies. If you didn't write something down, I'd be adding it to my notes. We adding it? If I'm telling you to write it down, what's that probably mean?
It's on the test.
It means it's on the test and you should write it down, okay? That's the first one. I'll give you a second, get that written down. All right, the next question. Why were New York City and Philadelphia good locations for ports? What's a port? Let's start there. What is a port? Juliana?
I think it's
is a place to go? Well, it's a place to go for what, or with what? You find a lot of something there. Kenny?
It's a place to go to fish.
You might go fish there, sure. Sean?
It's a place where boats can come in.
Right, boats and ships can come into ports, okay? They can dock there, they can unload whatever goods they have, or they can load up goods to take somewhere else that you're gonna sell, okay? So why were these two locations good for ports? Ava?
Because New York has Hudson River.
Yep.
The Delaware River.
So New York City was on the Hudson River. Notice I abbreviated, NYC. And you can do the same. Philadelphia, I'm gonna abbreviate that to Philly, was on the Delaware. And why were these good places to have them? Or why would you want them? Why would you want ports and cities on these ports? What did it do for those places? Riker?
Because the ships could maybe have like goods.
It does, and what can we do then? If we have a ship coming in with goods, I can send goods back out on it. What's that word?
You can get the goods and then sell them.
Right? What is that word? What do they rely a lot on? Because we're not necessarily talking money like we think today. Maya?
It makes trade easier.
Right, it made trade easier. Okay? Ooh, don't drop it off. Kenny?
I actually used to live in Delaware.
Really?
Yeah.
For a long time?
Delaware. On the East Coast.
Oh, that's cool. I should put Delaware River, but. Alright, adding those if we need to. Alright, the next one talks about the apprentice. What were advantages and disadvantages to being an apprentice? Well, first, apprentice was a vocab word. What's an apprentice? John? Right, apprentice lived and worked with an artisan. They learned the skill that that expert could do very well, okay, and then they would take that skill and maybe create their own business or start their own kind of workplace, okay? So an apprentice was somebody learning. What are some advantages or disadvantages to being an apprentice? Sean?
A disadvantage is women were not usually allowed.
Okay, good. So they weren't allowed to be an apprentice, right? Okay. What else? What else would be a disadvantage or an advantage? Either one. Go ahead, Sean.
You could learn to be one by watching people do it and helping them.
Okay. You learned a trade or a skill, right? From, and they would be experts. These people knew what they were doing. They'd done it a long time. Okay, that would be an advantage. So this would be a plus. We'll distinguish them that way. That's a plus. Minuses are disadvantages. Give me something else. John?
I don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage, but they could go on to earn a living as a
Journeyman.
and later a master.
Good. So they could go learn or go earn, right, a living. And I would say that would be an advantage, right? You've got this skill, you're going to make money with this skill. Go earn a living. And a journeyman is just somebody a step up above from apprentice, so then they keep going. And you still hear those terms today if you go into different trades. Okay, electricians and plumbers and those kind of people that do those trades. Learn by doing. Okay?
Star Wars.
They go earn a living as,
Young apprentice.
yep, as a journeyman. Now think about, would it be an advantage or a disadvantage that you have to live with this artisan?
It
Nick?
depends if you like them or not.
Okay. But either way, you're not at home,
So kind of disadvantage.
so more probably a disadvantage, right? So you have to live with the artisan.
Wasn't Benjamin Franklin apprentice with his dad?
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we did pretty good. We got 2 and 2. Anything else for that one? If not, I'm going to move to how did people learn to be an artisan? Ooh. What do you got to do first? Sean?
Be someone's apprentice?
You got to be an apprentice, yep. You have to be an apprentice and you have to work your way up, right?
Yeah.
Work your way up to being an artisan. All right. That's pretty good for chapter 6, lesson 3 as far as notes go. You should have also written down the vocab words, I think, with lesson 2 vocab words. Let's look at the summary. So you're going to write a summary based on the information in this particular lesson. Why did settlers come to the middle colonies? What were some things they could gain living in the middle colonies? Nick?
They should gain like the wheat, corn, and rye.
Okay, farming, right? Farming would attract them. Farming was easier here. Okay, that fertile soil helped. It wasn't set up like New England. So a lot of them would come to farm. What else? Josh?
To get new land.
They might. Sure, find more land. John?
For the port.
The ports? Yeah, they had access to trade there, didn't they? Trade was easier. Sure. One other thing. We talked about the farms. Talked about the ports. What else might they want to do? What's down here? Brendan?
I don't know the word artisan.
They might want to learn a new trade, right, and become an artisan. So they might move to the middle colonies to stay with somebody who's then going to teach them that trade. Okay, all reasons why they might come to the middle colonies. Sean, question?
Where we live, is that kind of like the middle colony thing?
When you're thinking colonies, you have to think, let's look at this.
Oh, wow.
The big map.
Like
So
wow.
we're over here. These are the colonies, right? This was New England, so we're kind of in this area here for the middle colonies, and we're way over here. So Indiana is really not even a thought right now. Okay? We're progressing this way. All right? We're talking these colonies up in here. We'll get to these southern colonies here in chapter 7.
Oh,
California,
wow.
I thought.
Not yet. Not yet.
What about Texas?
We get there eventually. Look how far those are from way over here, right? We're over here on this side of the United States right now.
talk about Texas, like the Vaqueros and stuff?
We in that story we did, yeah, and how it eventually becomes. So are there people there? I'm sure there probably are people living there, settlers living there, but we're talking about how the United States got started. So these colonies start to form, right? England kind of takes over this whole side. So
are
Spain
Where
and
is New England?
other colonies
like
are there.
States?
Not yet, eventually.
Where
We
is
start
like,
small as colonies and then
like,
grow.
So like big cities, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Long,
Yes.
Where is New England?
Like these colonies are called the New England colonies because England, right,
Yeah.
owns them, so they're referred to as the New England colonies.
So did England own them?
At that time, not now, but when we're talking, they were the people that were in charge of those colonies. Okay?
Where's England on the actual
It's
map?
not on this one.
I know, but like which direction?
Over here.
From to the right.
Let's see if I can.
Is it far?
Oh, it's far. You gotta go over an ocean.
Yeah.
See if I can find it.
I'm pretty sure you can.
So,
the ocean from Florida.
Here here is us, and you gotta travel all the way over to this area here. Ooh, it's dusty.
I thought
It's dirty.
I thought New England.
Here's Spain, France,
I thought
Wales. This is England in here. So here to there.
Well, I thought
Pretty far.
Greenland was close to us.
No, not really. Pretty
Looks
far,
like
right?
Not even a
Yeah.
foot, but it's really like 1,000 miles.
All right. So, social studies, as I mentioned, test on Wednesday. Today you have a 6-3 worksheet you're going to work on. You can use your notes. You can use the PDF. That's all you have for social studies today. 6-3 worksheet.
Thanks for making it easy.